Coming off their first SUNYAC loss last weekend, the Oswego State Lakers will play host to the dangerous Brockport Golden Eagles, winners of their last 5 in the SUNYAC, as they roll into town looking to bring on the hurt against the Oswego State Lakers. Right here from Max Zeal Gymnasium, it's the Oswego State Lakers and the Brockport Golden Eagles on WTOP 10. Michael Gross alongside Zach Malamud, and both of these teams have been red hot. They're 2 SUNYAC powerhouses. They've met in the last 2 SUNYAC finals, one going to the Lakers, one going to the Golden Eagles, and now they meet tonight with the Golden Eagles still looking for a better SUNYAC seeding.
Yeah, and you would have to say maybe one of the biggest, if not the biggest, SUNYAC game so far this season. And 2 powerhouses in this SUNYAC conference going head-to-head. Both teams are red hot right now, cruising to victories, and we should have a good one tonight.
Yeah, if you take a look at this matchup all time, Brockport has the edge, 74-96. This is their 171st matchup tonight. But on their last matchup on December 4th, 2021, the Lakers came away with a big victory, 27 points. Aki Anderson, 16, 8-8 in that game, his best game by far this season.
Yeah, and you look at that Brockport team, they started off a little bit slow this season, not expected in the SUNYAC conference. A powerhouse like them, not a great start to the season, but they've come back in the latter stages of this season, and they've been red hot, winning 6 straight.
And Brockport, they're going to look to take advantage of the fact that the Lakers finally got their first SUNYAC loss against New Paltz last weekend, and that game wasn't pretty if you're a Laker fan.
That's a huge talking point going into this one. The Lakers' first game back home after that first SUNYAC loss of the season, and in that game they just really struggled, did not play their game. They only had 5 fast break points against New Paltz, and they also shot 1 for 8, which is 12% in the second half from three-point land. They got to be better today, and it's going to come early.
Well, for the Golden Eagles, coached by Greg Dunn, they're going to throw out some really good guys on this team. David Grady III, alongside Makai Beckett, Jahidi Wallace, Antonio Alvarez, and Devontae Higgins. For the Lakers, it'll be Sparks, Green, Achille, Brendan Molson, and Aki Anderson, coached by Jason Leone. As Brockport, they won the tip. Higgins, bodying down low, puts up a shot over Sparks, and the first one to go from Devontae Higgins.
Tough shot there, and Brockport's starting early. The bench loves it already.
We talked about this before the game, you and I, though. A 2-2-1 press. The Lakers going to have to break that all game long if they're going to want to get over a half court and set up their offense.
Yeah, Brockport's looking for turnovers with that big press and trying to get areas to make the Lakers feel uncomfortable.
Pull up and pop for Sparks, no good. And Alvarez stripped by Achille to the rack with the left hand.
That's a hustle play by Jamal Achille. What a play. Not giving up, getting a steal, and getting a bucket for the Lakers.
6'4 junior from Staten Island with the first bucket for the Lakers. Higgins will try again, but Anderson with the rebound. This Lakers team has been hot in the first half and even hotter in the second half this season, but against Brockport, they got to start off with their best brand of basketball. Molson backing down on Higgins. He gets a block. To the corner, Beckett, and it's intercepted by Achille. He goes up by himself, and Higgins just watched him as he put it up off the glass and in.
Yeah, if you're Brockport, you cannot turn the ball over in this game. A couple turnovers already. Oswego's going to feast on that.
Higgins inside, loses the ball, and Achille with yet again another takeaway. That's his 3rd steal already. Anderson. Hand off to Achille. We'll go back out to Anderson. Molson, guarded by Alvarez, fighting his way inside, now gives it up to Green. Molson, double clutch, too strong off the glass.
What a pass by Devin Green. Molson just could not finish.
Outlet pass to Grady, double teamed. Higgins, straightaway 3, front iron, no good, and Anderson on the rebound. 2 minutes gone by, Lakers a 4-2 lead. Devin Green, kick out to Anderson. Ball fake. Now Sparks, he'll try a 3, no good. And David Grady III on the rebound.
Lakers need to take it to the basket more. They've gotten some points off turnovers, but getting into the lane against Brockport, they'll force fouls, get to the free throw line, and also get some easy buckets.
Grady in the left corner, guarded by Achille. Backing down, and Achille with yet again another strip. Unreal performance thus far from Achille on the defensive end. Green poked away by Higgins, and it'll go out of bounds.
That's just great defense from Achille. He's locked in right now, and some hustle plays, great steals, and he's doing a lot for the Lakers so far.
So Brandon Kennedy will check in for Devontae Higgins, who was a bit lazy on that defensive side of things early on. Sparks with a tough finish inside.
It's going to be tough to stop that guy. He is red hot right now, and you let him get into the lane, he will hurt you every single time.
Kennedy's pass was tipped away from Green, and now they'll have a 5-on-4 potential with the shot clock never reset. So we'll have to stop the game momentarily to get it set correctly. Or excuse me, the shot clock did reset, which is the reason they had to stop it. Good play, though, from Devin Green to tip it away.
Definitely, and the Lakers had to come out early in this one, force some turnovers. They've done a great job, and they've gotten a lot of easy baskets so far.
Wallace pulls up just inside the arc. Back iron, no good. Green crosses the timeline. Kick to Sparks. Fakes a pass, now gets it out to Anderson. He'll try a three. No good, and Molson tips it out to Green. The floater from 6, no good, and Grady on the rebound. Kennedy, skip pass. Beckett, short corner jumper, no good. And Sparks on the rebound. Anderson in transition is tipped away from Beckett and out of bounds. 16-16 left to play. Oswego with a 6-2 lead.
And Mike, we talked a lot about it in the pregame. Brockport's 2-2-1 press, and they're trying to force turnovers, but they're not making shots, so they're not forcing Oswego to get the inbound there and get in their defense. They're letting Oswego get in transition, and the Lakers are out to an early lead just because Brockport is not able to get easy buckets.
Anderson, kick out to Achille. 10 to shoot. Sparks, kick back out to Achille, a ball fake, dribble inside, and he gets fouled, tripped up by Mekhi Beckett, and that'll be his first foul of the game for either side.
But the Lakers are moving the ball well. They really are on offense. Those shots will come. They've struggled a little bit recently from three-point range, and it hasn't been great. So trying to get into the middle, that'll be the key to winning this game.
Inside to Molson, backing down on Alvarez, and Alvarez taking the charge and forcing the turnover.
Yeah, that's just a gutsy play. Some great defense so far from both sides. Oswego's forcing turnovers, and Brockport's kind of sticking with it. Only 6-2 early in this one.
Antonio Alvarez, really good player for this team. 6'3" senior from Brockport, has been there for all their runs when they lost to the Lakers in the SUNYAC final back in 2019, and then when they beat the Lakers in the SUNYAC final in 2020. As Alvarez, he pulls up there, a bit short, and good effort there from Grady to get it back to Beckett, who tucks it home.
Hustle play there, and Beckett gets an easy bucket right in the middle.
Anderson weaving through defenders, now finds Sparks. Dribble drive on Grady, ball fake goes up, and no good, but Sparks will shoot two.
Yeah, that's just too easy, and they put him in a one-on-one situation. He's just quicker than everybody. He might be the quickest player on the court right now, so you let him get towards the basket, he's going to force a foul or get a bucket.
Last time out against these Brockport Golden Eagles, Sparks had 7 points, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds, went 3 for 10 from the field, but the biggest thing, he had 3 steals in that game. Yes, he could do it on the offensive end, and he's a facilitator, but he's able to do it on the defensive end too.
And I think that's the biggest key for the Lakers in this one. If the offense is not rolling, which they only have 8 points and just under 5 minutes in, which is a fair amount so far, but a team that has been not great on offense in the last couple of games, trying to get work done on the defensive end will force a lot of turnovers and get Brockport a little bit uneasy.
Alvarez, the 3 from the right wing is good. Lead back down to 1, 5 minutes gone by. Lakers break the press easily. Sparks handles the ball. This Lakers team was winners of well over 10 straight games until the loss to New Paltz as Simmons kicks out. Achille tries a three and cashes it home. Outlet pass tipped by Anderson, falls into the arms of Achille. Bounce pass to the corner. Green sets up a three. Money!
That's just so good from the Lakers. And two wide open threes in transition. Those fast break points are so important. And way to get out in transition, get some open threes, and all of a sudden it's a 7-point game.
Brandon Kennedy draws the foul on Anderson. Now he and Grady will take a seat. Higgins comes into the game, as well as Colby Jordan. Colby Jordan, a freshman from Wheatley Heights, New York, went to Half Hollow Hills West. In the last time they played, only played 5 minutes. His only stat, a foul. Wallace was tipped away, and Achille dove on it. You want to talk about hustle, you want to talk about grit, you look at Jamal Achille right now.
He's been so good for the Lakers so far, and getting almost 4 steals, I think it was, for the Lakers early in this game, and that just shows the hustle play of Jamal Achille, just getting on the ground, getting everywhere, getting in some hustle stats, and he's really helping out the Lakers to get this early lead.
Yeah, right now they say he only has 2 steals, but I think that number should be double. Sparks working on Alvarez, gets an on-ball screen from Achille. Crossover into the lane. What a finish from Jeremiah Sparks. Outlet pass, and Green tips it out of bounds. This Laker defense is relentless. Will not let up any transition opportunities for Brockport, and that's what makes them so lethal.
They really are dominating right now on the defensive end, not giving Brockport really any room. Just Brockport's only had a couple, one open three, and then the rest has just not been easy, and the Lakers defense is starting off real hot.
Beckett was stripped on the way up, but Devin Green will be called for the foul. So 2 shots will be coming to the way of Mekhi Beckett, a former Seton Hall commit who never ended up working out for Beckett. Ended up going to St. Anthony's and now finds himself here at Brockport, where he's played really well as he misses the first free throw. Second leading scorer on the team, 14.5 points, shoots 45% from the field, 44% from behind the arc, and how about this, 85% at the free throw line.
A great all-around player. He really does it all for Brockport. Beckett as he misses there.
Outlet pass to Crittenden, and count the bucket on the foul. Higgins blocked it after and went off the backboard, so Crittenden will be awarded 2 points and will go to the line for a chance at an and-one opportunity. And you see Jeremiah Sparks there hyping up the Laker bench. This team has played so well in the first 6.5 minutes.
And I actually spoke to Jeremiah Sparks earlier this week, and he talked about Brockport and that loss in 2019-2020. They still have motivation, even with a lot of new faces on this team and a COVID year. They have a lot of motivation to get at Brockport and start beating them up, because that loss still sticks in Jeremiah Sparks' head.
Yeah, Sparks not a member of that 2018-2019 team where the Lakers ended up beating the Golden Eagles, and then, like you said, a member of the 2019-2020 team where they fell to Brockport in Brockport for the SUNYAC tournament, although the tides will be changed. It'll come back here to Max Zeal next weekend. Now it's just a matter of who's going to play who. But Brockport, they're 11-5 in the conference. They're 16-6 on the year. Right, they're winners of 5 straight. They're one of the hottest teams in the SUNYAC. They're certainly going to be looking to kind of go back to back.
Yeah, this is kind of a statement game, maybe, if for even both sides. Oswego coming off that loss last week. Okay, they have a tough team in Brockport coming to the Zeal. Can they beat them up? And for Brockport to come into Zeal and maybe get a win would be absolutely huge.
Alvarez pull up in transition for 3, no good, and Lou Fadulo, who checks into the game, gets the rebound. Crittenden stutter step into the lane, he goes, and a tough finish for Julian Crittenden, but he gets it to go. He's got 5 now.
And I talked about
Beckett tough angle, but Fadulo called for the foul.
When I talked about that New Paltz game and Oswego only having 5 fast break points, how many have we seen so far? It's got to be it's got to be up there as they're getting really out. They're not letting Brockport get set. They're breaking through that press, and it's working on all cylinders right now for the Lakers.
Zach, would you believe it if I told you they had 8 fast break points already?
Already, and we're not even 7 minutes into this one. It's crazy, and that was the game plan. Don't let Brockport get set. If you can play against them 5-on-5, so be it. But if you get out in transition, there is no stopping this Lakers team.
Beckett makes his first free throw, and the second one falls through as well. We said before, Beckett, an 85% free throw shooter. Missed his first 2 attempts, but made the second 2, so made up for it. Sparks will take a seat, and Devin Green will come out onto the floor. 7 minutes gone by, a 21-9 Laker lead. We said they were going to have to get out in front early, and they've done that. Crittenden looking for Cook, a ball fake. Lakers moving the ball around the perimeter. Inside for Simmons, gonna have to get rid of it. Finds Fadulo, goes up on the left side. Great play there from Monte Johnson to block Fadulo. Higgins down low to Joseph Pena. Now back out to Jordan. Spinning inside, and Green on the block. Pass up for Crittenden. Cook works his way through the defense. Kick out to Crittenden, a 3. No good, and Higgins on the rebound. Outlet pass to Pena. He gets stripped by Cook. Ball fake from Pena, goes up, no good, and that'll go off of Caleb Cook last, and Brockport will retain possession.
Yeah, Caleb Cook a little frustrated with that call, but both teams going back and forth. Brockport trying to give the Lakers a taste of their own medicine. It's just not working so far, as the shots are hard to come by for the Golden Eagles.
Right, beat them at your own game, although good inbound pass from Higgins and an even better ball fake from Joe Pena to get Christian Simmons flying into the rafters. Easy bucket, 10-point game.
You said a great ball fake there by Pena, creating the open space and an easy bucket.
Pena averaged just 5 points a game this season. Pass to Simmons, up off the glass and in.
What a pass by Caleb Cook, right into the middle. Christian Simmons right next to the basket, an easy layup there.
The jumper from Higgins, no good. Outlet pass now for the Lakers. Cook finds Crittenden in the corner, inside. The up and under, no good, and Simmons can't get it on the putback. Rebound goes to the Golden Eagles. Here's Higgins, out to the wing. Pena gets Cook going one way, goes up with the left hand, no good, and Devin Green on the rebound. Crittenden a ball fake. Back out to Green. His three-pointer is good.
The assists have been a big part of the Lakers in this game, and their vision of every single player on this team, the vision that they have, the depth that they have is really working so far, and they've gotten a lot of easy shots.
Jahidi Wallace called for the moving screen, and that's his second foul.
It's a big foul right there. Top player on this Brockport team, and he has to go to the bench with 2 fouls, and we're not even 10 minutes in.
Wallace was a big factor back in the 18-19 season in that Brockport run where they fell just short. He was one of the main mans along with Chris Atkinson, who's no longer playing for the Golden Eagles as he graduated. But Wallace and Dunn, a very good relationship. They've dragged this Golden Eagles team all the way to an 11-5 conference record thus far. Cook, a three-pointer is good. A little glance at the crowd, he gets them going.
Just the open threes for the Lakers have been the story. Wide open. Brockport needs to pick it up on the defensive end.
The Lakers do shoot 32% from beyond the arc. Devin Green called for the foul.
But the story so far has been transition for the Lakers and also just moving the ball, and they're getting wide open looks. Brockport cannot get their defense set, and it's given the Lakers too many easy buckets, and look how big the lead is already.
Kennedy and Alvarez check back in for Jordan and Pena for the Golden Eagles, and Beckett drains them both. So a 16-point lead, 10 minutes gone by in the first half. Lakers controlling this one. Pass inside to Molson, and he's wrapped up by Monte Johnson. That's his first foul. One more, I think the Lakers are in the bonus.
Yeah, Brockport's just been a little bit uneasy on the defensive end. Now, don't look comfortable. Really, if they're trying to switch, they get wide open shooters, and Oswego's really hurting them.
And that's been the big story for head coach Jason Leone and this Laker team. They try to make teams uncomfortable as Cook goes inside, blocked by Beckett. Alvarez on the rebound, pushing the pace. And now he'll have to go back to Kennedy, and the Golden Eagles will reset. Beckett one-on-one with Molson into the lane, gets fouled, goes up, no good. But Beckett will head to the free throw line. And that's a foul on Devin Green. That's his second foul.
Yeah, I think the Lakers just struggled a little bit there on help defense. As it was a 1v1, got into the lane, Beckett pretty easily around Molson, but a couple Lakers step up, it'll force him into a tough shot.
Well, if there's one person you want to get the one-on-one on if you're the Golden Eagles, it's Molson. He's very nifty down low, right? But keeping up with the speed of some of these guards and forwards for Brockport, that's not going to happen, especially out on the three-point line when you have him all to himself on an ISO.
Exactly. If you get him out towards the three-point line, it's not as difficult to get behind Brendan Molson. Still one of the best defenders on this Lakers team, and has a lot of blocks so far for the Lakers this season.
Beckett makes them both a 14-point game, 9.5 to go. Anderson gives it up to Sparks on the left wing. Sparks driving inside, kick out to Crittenden. Three from the right corner, in and out, no good, and Alvarez on the rebound. Once again, Brockport trying to keep the tempo up. And once again, they're stopped by this Laker defense. Beckett, step back three, no, it's blocked by Molson. And that one's taken away by Anderson. Crittenden on the left side, goes up with it with the left hand and finishes. He's got 7, and the Lakers with a 16-point lead.
Yeah, they're just getting out in transition. It's too easy right now. Brockport can't get set, and the Lakers have too many easy shots.
The shot from Grady off the back iron, and Anderson weaving his way through the defense over half court. And the Lakers will take a breather and reset. Packed house here tonight in Max Zeal Gymnasium. Biggest crowd by far we've seen all season. Anderson to the hole, no good on the layup attempt.
Yeah, that was a tough take by Aki Anderson. Almost got the finger roll to go, but just a little bit short for the Lakers.
Yeah, Anderson able to really cut hard to the hole and just couldn't get it to go. The finger roll is really an art, right? When you put up the finger roll, when you think of the best guys in the NBA that used to do that or that still do, Stephen Curry, Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, right? All those guys perfected the art of the finger roll. Anderson's very good at the hole, but that time there in traffic got to be tough. Although he's got no points yet. Still looking for that first bucket tonight.
Yeah, and Aki Anderson, he is a little small for this Lakers team, probably one of the smallest on the team, but he can still get up there. He really has a lot of jump and will take anybody really to the rim. It does not matter, big or small. He has a lot of confidence going into the lane. He's also an unbelievable passer for the Lakers. Anderson,
a freshman out of Greenport, New York, went to Center Morris's high school. 2019-2020 season was the NYS SWA Class B Player of the Year, and in 2019-2020 as well, the SCBCA All-County, All-Tourney, and All-Conference. You want to talk about a guy with some accolades from high school, it's Aki Anderson, and he's going to be able to lead this team for years to come, especially with the young talent he is.
He really found a gem, Jason Leone, in Aki Anderson.
He tends to find a lot of gems, head coach Jason Leone. Beckett inside to Grady, backing down, goes up too strong, can't get his own rebound. The tip drill falls to Molson. Possession now with the Lakers. Sparks driving on Alvarez, gets 2 to jump on the ball fake, can't get it to go. Molson will tip it out. Crittenden will tip it up, and Alvarez comes up with it. He goes to the ground, and Sparks called for the foul.
Unlucky there for the Lakers as Brockport tried to get out in transition. But the story so far has been the shooting for both sides. The Lakers 46% from the field and 50% from three. Brockport 21% from the field and 16% from three-point range.
Yeah, Brockport now in the bonus as Alvarez goes to the line. 1-1, misses the first attempt. And Anderson comes up with the rebound. It's his third rebound of the game. Crittenden working on Kennedy. Driving to the hole and swatted by Grady. Molson into the lane, off the glass, no good, and Achille can't come up with it. Here comes Brockport. Beckett goes down, and Anderson called for the reach-in.
What a block by Kellen Grady, getting up there and just got the job done there for Brockport. But the story of this first half so far has been turnovers, and 6 for Brockport, just 1 for the Lakers. You turn the ball over, you're not going to win. Yeah, that's the story.
And that's opened up a lot of free throw opportunities, but Beckett missing on this one now, 4 for 7 from the charity, even though he shoots, like we said, 85% from the free throw line this season. If Brockport's going to claw their way back into this game, you have to knock down your free throws. Sparks, top of the key. 7 minutes remaining. Pass inside to Achille. Good ball movement. Crittenden for 3. Off the mark, and Achille on the rebound, stripped away by Alvarez. He's got options, a 3-on-2, a Euro, Alvarez to the hole.
Yeah, Brockport picking up their defense and cut it to 14 right now, making the Lakers move the ball even more and not giving the Lakers too much room to get easy looks. They got to keep moving the ball around and get more open shots.
Sparks looking for Molson, gets the pass off. Cook, now Sparks. His three-pointer, no good. And Grady on the rebound. Grady now with 6 rebounds on the night. Still in the first half. No points yet on the board for him. Pass intended for Cowie, and Kennedy pulls up from the left elbow and drains it.
Yeah, I think the Lakers might need a timeout here. It looks like they're just going to play it out, but Brockport is coming back right now, cutting the deficit, getting open shots, and forcing the Lakers into bad shots on the defensive end.
That's Kennedy's first bucket of the game, and first bucket against the Lakers this season. Did not score in their last outing. Cowie guarding Crittenden, kick out, 5 to shoot. Sparks pull up 3, in and out, no good, and Alvarez on the rebound. Once again pushing the tempo. Good bounce pass from Alvarez, and Beckett couldn't corral it as the pass ended up by his face off the floor and it went out of bounds.
And Brockport's defense has been so good that it's forcing the Lakers to take late shots in the shot clock. The Lakers are used to getting out in transition, getting quick buckets. Brockport's done a great job on the defensive end. They're forcing Jeremiah Sparks to take some three-pointers. He's not a great three-point shooter, and they're forcing him to try and make it.
Green takes his time, sets, and fires.
That guy's a great three-point shooter. He knocks it down every single time. You cannot give him an inch of space.
Well, with a last name like Green, every release has got to be a Green release. Cowie kicks out, and Green on the steal. Fast break. Green backing down Alvarez and gets it to go. Laker lead out now to 17 with 5 minutes to go in this first half.
Yeah, this game's completely changed since Devin Green stepped in, and he's been so good so far.
Grady was stripped by Cook, and that one trickles out of bounds. Get a couple substitutions. Christian Simmons comes in for Brendan Molson, and Jahidi Wallace back into the game for Mekhi Beckett.
Devin Green, 11 points already, 3 three-pointers for the Lakers. He's gotten those open looks.
And we'll stop play for just a moment as Cowie will come out. Beckett will come back into the game. That was the original substitution they wanted to make. Lakers a 5-0 run. Grady now, well, if you dribble once and pick it up, you can't exactly dribble it again. That's what they call the double dribble, Zach.
It's a tough call, but he went mid-spin move, picked it up, and then dribbled it again. Can't do that, and the Lakers force another turnover.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can get that call if it was quote-unquote tipped away and you sell it well, but not this time. Didn't get by the stripes this time. Achille backing down Beckett, a ball fake, goes up with it, gets a foul called, but no dice on the bucket. He'll go to the line and shoot a pair.
Picture perfect performance so far from Jamal Achille. Gets those early steals, easy buckets, 7 points already. Not really an expected scorer for this Lakers team, but he's doing a lot of great work, and he's a very hard-working player for Jason Leone.
Yeah, Jamal Achille in the last game against this Brockport team had 12 points, was 6 for 8 shooting, had 2 steals and 2 blocks. He's been probably one of the most consistent guys down low for this Lakers team all season.
Yeah, he got the start today, and he's stepped up in a big way so far. A big difference in the game right now and why the lead is so big.
The lay-in from Kennedy, no good. The pass to Simmons goes awry and into the hands of Alvarez. Good fake pass and no good on the 15-footer. Green comes up with it, under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Achille into the lane, goes up with the left and blocked by Grady. But there will be a foul call, and Achille will go back to the free throw line.
It may or may not have been a foul there, but Achille taking it into the lane, they're giving him the wide open lane to get into the paint, and he'll take that every single time.
First free throw off the mark for Jamal Achille, who shoots it at a 71% clip as Crittenden comes back in to the game for Devin Green, who gets a big round of applause from his bench.
Completely changed this game since he was subbed in. He really did, Devin Green.
And now Joseph Pena returning to the game in for David Grady. That one's good from Achille, and the Laker lead now up to 20 points as Lou Fadulo checks in. Although it's a 20-point game, Zach, if I'm head coach Leone, you lost to New Paltz last week. You dropped in the standings a little bit, or at least in the polls. You want to keep the pedal to the metal this entire game, not let up. If you beat them by 40, if you beat them by 50, which is definitely something they've shown they could do, that's going to bode well for you in the polls.
I really do think we're going to see the starters playing a lot later in this game than we have seen recently, and just keep the momentum going. They have a game tomorrow as well. Just trying to get some momentum going into the SUNYAC championships.
Simmons, tough angle, no good, and Wallace comes up with the rebound. Wallace taking it himself, coast to coast. Jahidi Wallace.
And that's why he's so dangerous. Goes coast to coast, takes it right into the lane. He's gotten a little bit of foul trouble. Haven't seen a lot of Jahidi Wallace so far, but let him get in his zone, it's going to hurt you.
And Devontae Hagan's taking the charge. Jeremiah Sparks called for the foul. Hagan set up before Sparks even made it to the three-point line. Once he crossed the three-point line, it was just a matter of was Sparks going to run into him or not, and he did.
Yeah, the Brockport Golden Eagles have not made it too easy for the Lakers in the latter stages of this first half, and Sparks with a big second foul there. That could be important for the Lakers late in this game.
Taken away by the Lakers. Sparks gives it up to Cook. Left wing three. Crittenden connects.
And another open three for the Lakers. Brockport has to get out on three-point shooters. That has to be the message at halftime.
Kennedy goes up with it, but he's fouled by Lou Fadulo. And I tell you what, head coach Jason Leone has unbuttoned the jacket. He just pulled at both the sides of the inner jacket, and he's saying, oh, this is just, he's ready to explode. Right? We've seen Leone be very vocal, very emotional on the bench, and that's what you love from a coach, but at the same time, Might have to calm down. Don't want to get a technical.
He's a player's coach. He really is.
Oh, he really is.
He really is. He loves all of his players. And Fadulo got the foul there. May or may not have been a foul. It looked like he had his hands up already. But, yes, keeping it under control in the big stages of these games is important for a coach like Jason Leon.
Both free throws go through for Kennedy. Now a full court man-to-man. The 2-2-1 wasn't working early on. Now they'll go man-to-man. Molson over half court. A little bit over 2 minutes left to play in this first half. Molson ripped through on the left side. Higgins goes down, but he's blocked by Pena. Kennedy outlet pass, stripped away. Diving on the floor is Marcus Shelton, along with Alvarez and Kennedy, and the jump ball possession arrow goes in favor of the Brockport Golden Eagles. No, actually, they'll say it's in favor of the Lakers. I guess the arrow hasn't changed.
It's interesting, this man-to-man press, because we are seeing a lot of depth right now from the Lakers. A couple bench players in the game, so maybe Brockport trying to make those bench players a little bit uneasy. But if they plan on doing a man-to-man press, the Lakers will run by them. They are one of the quickest teams in the SUNYAC, and they will get out in transition very easily.
And they know how to break a press. They know how to break a full-court press. You don't dribble through it, but if you have the space, you dribble into the space and then pass out of it. But with the lightning speed that these guys have, as Crittenden goes to the hole and he gets pushed there by Devontae Higgins, and that's his first foul of the game.
And that just shows right there, the man-to-man press. If you're going to get a trap, maybe you force the Lakers into a turnover and force the Lakers into a tough position. But to leave them 1v1, you're not going to stop this Lakers team. They are just too quick.
Crittenden at the line, 1-and-1, makes the first free throw. And the second free throw is bottom for Julian Crittenden. Caleb Cook will check out. Anderson back into the game for the Lakers. 2 minutes to go. Lakers with a 21-point lead in the first half.
And if you're Brockport, you have to get in the three-point zone. You got to start hitting three-pointers to try and get back into this game, because there's no stopping the Lakers right now.
Alvarez, pretty floater off the window. Lead back down to 19. Looks like the Golden Eagles have backed off of the full court press. They're going to play half court man-to-man. Molson working on Johnson. Gives it up to Simmons, who gets fouled and gets it to go at the rim.
What a pass by Brendan Molson. Gets the double team up towards him, leaves Simmons wide open. And the Lakers have gotten a lot of points in the paint so far in this one.
Christian Simmons, in addition to this team halfway through, he's a journeyman, by the way. Started at the School of Arts in Rochester. Then he ended up going to Walsh University, Mohawk Community College, Corning Community College, and Mansfield University before ending up here at Oswego State, where he's played a pivotal role on this team this season. Kick out to Wallace, but his foot was on the line. And a big round of applause from the Laker bench as another turnover for the Brockport Golden Eagles, their 12th of the game.
And turnovers have been the story so far. You cannot win games, especially against this Lakers team, if you turn the ball over. They will eat that up very easily. And just quickly back to Christian Simmons. They've had a lot of additions to this Lakers team, transfers and all that. Brendan Molson, Devin Green. But Christian Simmons, I think, is one of the biggest ones. To have the confidence of a big man coming off the bench and just giving you solid minutes, gets rebounds, gets baskets. What a player Christian Simmons is.
Crittenden creating space, can't get the jumper to go, and Molson with the dirty work down low, cleaning up the mess.
Yeah, Molson stepped up big right now with a couple of the starters on the bench for the Lakers.
Alvarez takes it himself and right to the hole. He's got 9 now, and Brockport chipping away at this lead. Anderson Now Shelton, miscommunication with Crittenden. Alvarez first one to it. Takes it himself, can't get the bucket, and Crittenden called for the foul.
Yeah, the Lakers are looking to get the ball up quickly. That means forcing Brockport into bad shots so they can get out in transition, the Lakers. But Brockport's done a good job in the last 10 minutes or so of getting into the lane, getting easy buckets. The three-pointers haven't been working for the Golden Eagles, so they're getting some easy buckets right in the middle.
Early on, we said that Brockport hadn't shot well from the free throw line. It was mainly Mekhi Beckett who hadn't shot well, but Alvarez going 2 for 2 here from the free throw line. And that puts them back up around 71-72% on the night. 30 seconds to go in this first half of play. Under a second difference between game and shot clock, a 20-point lead for the Lakers. 15 to go as Anderson holding the ball at the logo. Now on the left side looking for Simmons. Simmons fighting through Pena. The shot won't go, but it was Ja'Kai White who checked into the game and got a rebound, but he stepped out of bounds in the process. 4 seconds remain.
Yeah, Lakers trying to cook out a play here, maybe right in the middle of the paint or an open three-pointer.
Outlet pass was intended for Shelton. 2 to shoot. Crittenden's got to put one up. A floater, no good. And that'll do it for the first half as the Lakers score 49 and go out to a 20-point lead after one with the help of Devin Green and Julian Crittenden.
Yeah, and the Lakers put up 63 in that loss to New Paltz. 50 points already at halftime. They're just cruising right now. But the key for Brockport, get out on the three-point shooters. The Lakers have been absolutely lights out. 6 three-pointers in that first half. A lot of them were wide open. Brockport's other key is they need to be stronger on the defensive end as well as get out in transition against this Lakers team.
Back in December when they played, Brockport had scored 26 points in that first half. The Lakers scored 51. It's the same shade of gray here in this first half of play, and the Lakers really just in total control.
Yeah, it's the same story, but the Lakers came in with a game plan, get out in transition, create open shots, and they've executed it perfectly in that first half. Nothing more that you could ask for if you're Coach Jason Leone.
As they honor some fall athletes here, some from the soccer, men's and women's soccer teams, and field hockey. We'll send it to a break and be right back here with second half basketball as the Lakers lead it by 20. Michael Gross alongside Zach Malamud. Don't go anywhere, folks. It's getting good right here on WTOP 10. Back here in Max Zeal Gymnasium for some second half action between the Oswego State Lakers and the Brockport Golden Eagles right here on WTOP 10. Michael Gross alongside Zach Malamud. And in the first half, it was really all Oswego out to a 20-point lead. The story was the transition basketball they played and played oh so well.
Yeah, and Brockport missing shots forces transition, and the Lakers go out in transition, get some open looks, and all of a sudden the lead just kept growing and growing.
Yeah, and I mean, on the Brockport end of things, it's not like they've really had chances to defend them. Their transition defense isn't very good, and that's what the Lakers are taking advantage of, and they're really kind of picking apart this Brockport team.
Yeah, and Brockport, the biggest thing is turnovers. When they get on the offensive end, missed shots plus turnovers, they had 12 in that first half to Oswego's 4. 12 turnovers. Oswego is cruising on points off turnovers. They have 23 right now, and that's the story in the game, right?
Yeah, the Lakers really driven in this first half by 3 names: Julian Crittenden, Devin Green, and Jamal Achille, who combined have gone for 33 of their 49 points.
Yeah, and Oswego's just played their game. They've gotten 3-pointers to fall, and they've also gotten out in transition. That's Lakers basketball.
Brockport averaging 16 turnovers a game. They've already amassed that mark as Alvarez's first shot out of the break is no good, and Anderson on the rebound. Fast break for the Lakers. Gives it up to Green. Dump off pass to Molson. Can he get it to go? Not once, not twice, and Alvarez comes up with the rebound.
Yeah, I thought Green could have put it up there for the Lakers.
Wallace inside. Tough angle. No good. Over half court. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Jahidi Wallace has not gotten too comfortable. Just 2 points. He had 2 fouls early in the first half. The best player on Brockport just not getting things to go.
Really, none of these guys have gotten comfortable besides Alvarez, and maybe you can throw Beckett in the mix. 8 to shoot. Anderson, step back from the short corner, no good, and Beckett on the rebound. Inside to Grady. Pull up from 11 is straight water for David Grady. First bucket of the second half.
Yeah, Brockport just trying to find ways to chip away at this big lead.
Reach-in foul called on Antonio Alvarez, who sticks his hand up and says, yep, that's me. That's my apologies. And indeed it is, Antonio. Can't reach in like that, especially on Jeremiah Sparks.
Yeah, but I talked about it in the first half. They're playing man-to-man defense, and you kind of have to, but it leaves the Lakers with very easy opportunities going 1v1.
Anderson now to Green. Green going baseline. Back out to Anderson. For 3, air ball. Molson on the rebound. Goes up with it, gets another rebound, and he and Alvarez are tied up in a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Lakers.
Yeah, Molson a little bit unlucky to not get that layup to go. Was forced into kind of a dogfight in there with 2 Brockport players. Gets a jump ball.
Sparks a ball fake. Straight away 3 as the horn sounds on the shot clock. Jeremiah Sparks drains a 3. Laker lead up to 21. 2 minutes gone by.
What a big play there.
Inside to Grady. And 2 more points for him, or actually his first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, Sparks gave me some Marcus Page vibes there.
Oh, yeah.
Double clutch on there.
Sparks back out to Green. Eating up a lot of shot clock. Another one, no good for Sparks from the outside. And it'll stay here. A foul on Antonio Alvarez. No, on Mekhi Beckett. That's his 3rd foul. And there's foul trouble once again. 2 quick fouls early on in the second half for Brockport.
Yeah, and if you're Brockport, you cannot give Oswego second chance opportunities. It's going to force Brockport into foul trouble like they already are early in the second half, but it just gives the Lakers more opportunities to get baskets.
Molson swarmed at the rim. And a traveling violation called on Beckett as Greg Dunn will send in Colby Jordan to take out Beckett. But You want to talk about rim protection defense for Brockport. Molson went up and he had 3 green jerseys up over his head.
And that's good for Brockport, getting Molson to get into the lane and swarming around him.
Green inside, no good. Rebound comes down to Molson. He goes up, Green on the rebound. His effort goes through.
Lakers struggling a little bit right at the rim, but Devin Green finally gets that one to go. And Brockport will talk about it.
With 17-18 remaining in this second half, Lakers have a 21-point lead, and head coach Greg Dunn will take a timeout here. And as they break on the floor, we will not break up here. And Zach, the Lakers have pretty much done everything right. They've taken care of the ball. They have exposed the bad transition defense for Brockport. What's the one other aspect of their game that you could see them improving on in this game?
Well, they've gone to the basics, really. Oswego, that was their game plan. Come into this game, play our game in our gym. That was the game plan, and they've done that absolutely perfectly. Three-point shooting has been huge for Oswego. They haven't had too many threes early in this second half. I look for that to get a little bit more for Oswego, but points in transition and getting those turnovers that Brockport cannot continue to control.
Wallace up top. Now Higgins, bounce pass to Grady. A ball fake in on Achille, and Grady will go to the free throw line. Getting some support from his bench. David Grady will shoot 2. And Jamal Achilles' first foul call. Lakers' first foul of the half. Grady shooting 2 here. First is no good from David Grady.
And free throws have been a little bit of a struggle for Brockport in this one. Any opportunity they get, they have to take advantage of it, and free throws is probably the easiest one right there.
Grady makes the second. He's one of 3 on this team that have come from Brooklyn Law Tech down in Brooklyn, New York. Him, Joseph Pena, and Ja'Kai White, all coming from the same alma mater, as Simmons gets blocked by Grady.
Simmons looking for a foul there, but the block party has been coming out for Brockport early in the second half. Just some great defensive play for the Golden Eagles.
Inbound to Simmons. Anderson between his legs, goes up from the short corner. The floater will go.
That's just too easy for Aki Anderson. Like I said before, he can take on any player. It does not matter, big or small, and he did it right there.
Alvarez kicks to Jordan. Now Grady. Skip pass to Higgins, 10 to shoot. Jordan driving baseline, fading away from the hoop, puts a shot up, but it doesn't go. Rebound to Achille and the Lakers. Sparks racing down the floor, gives it up to Green. Green with it, gives it up to Simmons. Simmons takes it to the hole.
Devin Green made up for Jeremiah Sparks, as got it right into the middle of the lane, and another easy layup for Simmons.
Wallace to the rack, fouled by a Laker. They'll give it to Christian Simmons. Simmons, his first foul, the Lakers' second team foul in this half. 4 minutes gone by, Lakers up 58-34. Wallace to the free throw line for the first time tonight. That one goes through. Wallace won a Section 2 championship with Lansingburg High back in high school, and he won a SUNYAC championship in 2019-2020, and now Christian Simmons will ask for the floor to be mopped up. It's slippery down there on the hardwood.
Some bodies flying around down there, but Jahidi Wallace, top player for this Brockport team, and just not getting things to go today. Has only taken 3 shots.
And that's just unfortunate there. Sometimes you get bounces to go your way, and sometimes the trips don't go your way, and you trip over your own player out of bounds. It's an unfortunate turnover for the Lakers. Higgins, the trigger man, down low. Inbounds to Wallace. Setting up on the left elbow into the paint. The floater is good. What a tough shot from Jahidi Wallace. What a good finish.
Shows how dangerous Jahidi Wallace is. Get him into the lane, get him an open look, and he will hit it. He's not been great so far for Brockport, but starting to get things going in the second half.
Yeah, starting to come alive a little bit. Hand off to Crittenden. Motion offense around the perimeter. Playing 3 outside and 2 bigs inside as Grady takes that one away. Down the floor he goes, racing for it, but it tips out of bounds. You got to respect the hustle, though, from David Grady and the Golden Eagles. Even though they're down by 21 points, they're not backing down. 15 minutes may be enough time for Brockport to make a comeback.
Yeah, and Oswego's had a couple forced passes early in the second half. Can't get too turnover happy if you're Oswego, as Brockport will come the other way and get some easy buckets. They've done a great job of keeping the ball and keeping it in control. Oswego has, and it hasn't given Brockport really any opportunity.
Inbound to Anderson. 7 to shoot on the shot clock now. Anderson by Wallace, and a hip bump from Jahidi Wallace will be his, I believe, 3rd personal foul.
That was a good call, as Aki Anderson trying to get around Jahidi Wallace. Can't hit him with the body. Anderson's just too quick right now.
Bad inbound pass from Crittenden, a turnover. Now the outlet pass was tipped by Crittenden, goes out of bounds.
And the turnovers, that's really hurting Oswego right now. I would not be surprised if Coach Jason Leone talked about it a little bit soon. He's very frustrated right now, very animated for Oswego.
Alvarez comes up with that one, and now back into the backcourt for Higgins, and who did he see? Not sure, with his hands on his head, looking for Wallace. Sloppy play on both ends of the floor. It results in a Brockport turnover and a Laker ball. 5 minutes gone by, 21-point Laker lead here in Maxio Gymnasium. Michael Gross alongside Zach Malamud here on WTOP 10. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight, as the Lakers look to continue a marvelous SUNYAC run and a marvelous season, one of the best they've ever had as a school. And a turnover from Crittenden. Alvarez, now Wallace to the hole and gets it to fall. Jahidi Wallace with some contact has done it once and twice in this second half.
He's just gotten into the lane. He's gotten some open looks, even if a little bit of tough contact right there. He's still able to hit it. Just a great player for the Golden Eagles.
Crittenden into the paint, takes it himself, blocked by Grady. Not many numbers here for Jordan. To the hole, no good. Achille on the rebound as he chases for it, needs to get out of the corner. Anderson tries to rip through. Alvarez, Antonio Alvarez to the rim. Back-to-back quick buckets, lead back down to 17.
Yeah, Oswego's trying to get out in transition, but they are leaving the ball wide open for Brockport to take it away, and they are eating up on those turnovers. A lot of points off turnovers for Brockport, and the bench is getting up. They're getting a little ready to go.
Anderson on the left side into the paint, and he's fouled by Devontae Higgins, I believe. No, they'll say he's fouled by Colby Jordan. He was pushed in the back. That's his second foul, as Joe Pena and Makai Beckett will check into the game. Sparks will check in for Christian Simmons.
Oswego just need to take it easy. Don't get too turnover happy. Run the offense, get things going, go back to the basics.
Back to the basics. Caleb Cook can't hit the three. Wallace into the paint, almost stripped by Anderson, holds on to it. Jordan back out to Wallace. Pass inside, the tip drill, and Achille and Sparks embrace after he hits him over the head with the basketball.
Yeah, but that's tough defense by Jamal Achille, not letting any room right in the post area, and almost got a turnover there.
Wallace, guarded by Sparks, flips it up to Beckett. Pena, his three, no good. And an air ball, much to the liking of the Laker bench.
And Brockport just has not been great from three-point range. They've really struggled, and Oswego has been pretty solid from three-point range. 6 threes in the first half to Brockport's only 1 3-pointer.
I tell you what, a couple guys we haven't seen in this game from either side. Jordan Brown for the Lakers hasn't played in this one. Been sitting at the end of the bench for a while. Don't know if he'll get any minutes tonight. And then for the Brockport Golden Eagles, it's Tony Arnold, who in the last 2 games had 11 total steals. He had 5 steals against Plattsburgh in that win, and then 6 steals against Fredonia. So he's not a factor in this game, and the Lakers are certainly taking advantage of that.
And the Lakers a little bit turnover happy, and you bring in Arnold, that could really help Brockport. Would not be surprised if we see him a little bit soon.
Achille into the paint, a ball fake. A little George Gervin finger roll action off the glass and in.
That's a tough play from Jamal Achille. He's gotten some easy buckets for the Lakers.
Wallace knocks down a 3.
Too much room for Jahidi Wallace, and he's a pretty solid three-point shooter, 45%, how about? And give him that much room, he will hit it every single time.
Sparks gives it up to Achille. 16 to shoot, hands it off to Anderson. Back out to Cook. It's good! Caleb Cook hot from behind the arc. He's got 6 and the Laker lead back up to 19. Beckett inside, fouled by Achille, and would you look at the expression on his face, hands on his hips, saying, oh, I thought I got all ball, but everybody's always innocent, aren't they?
That's true, but Caleb Cook giving some big minutes for the Lakers off the bench right now. A couple 3-pointers, and he's helping the Lakers add to this lead.
So with Beckett at the free throw line, Achille talking to one of the officials about why he got the foul called. First free throw, no good. And the official was telling him, well, it's because you brought your hand from low and then brought it up high in a circular motion and then squatted down. If it was a quick motion, maybe he wouldn't have got it called, but because it was a full windup, I think that's why he got the foul called.
Yeah, the swat down usually gets a foul call. It's a pretty easy call for the officials there.
Free throw good, lead down to 18. Wilson back to Sparks. Got to get it over half court in 3 seconds, and they do. Sparks bounce pass to Anderson. Pull up from 10 feet away is money for Rocky Anderson.
That's right in his wheelhouse, right next to the elbow there. He will hit those with ease.
Wallace, another 3 from him. He's knocked down 2 of the last 3 possessions. Anderson taking it to the hole. He's fouled by Pena. And with 11 minutes to go in this second half, Anderson's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
Wallace heating up so far in this second half. Got a nice pep talk probably at halftime. Get things going. He's been lights out for Brockport, kind of keeping him in this game.
Yeah, in the first half, it was Alvarez who controlled the tempo when Brockport had the ball. Now it's Wallace, right? Playing through Jahidi Wallace, and why not keep feeding him the ball?
And when you're down this big, you got to go to your big guys. And Jahidi Wallace, no bigger guy for the Brockport Golden Eagles.
Funny thing is, and last time he played the Lakers, only 4 points, was 2 for 9 from the field and had 2 turnovers. Tonight, he's got 13 and trying to keep Brockport in this game. Grady setting up on the left block, backing down on Achille. Pass to Higgins. A funky looking finish, but he got it to go anyway.
It's a great pass there for Brockport, right into the middle. Higgins, the Lakers had the double team. They just could not complete it with the help defense behind.
Like we said before, Coach Leone probably going to play his starters for majority, if not all of this one, or at least his starting core. Just about 9 players or so. Anderson, the floater, gets the roll. He's starting to heat up a little bit in this second half. He's got 8, lead up to 19.
And he's just taking it to the basket, getting in that paint. He's going to dominate for Oswego.
Grady, the pull-up from 9 feet away, no good, and Alvarez steals it away. Into the lane, gets fouled, and count the bucket for Antonio Alvarez. Just an electric player on both ends of the floor, stopping the transition by taking the ball away and, well, finishing in traffic at the rim and getting the foul called too.
Yeah, tough finish there by Alvarez. And trying to keep Brockport a little roaming here. It could cut it to 16 with this free throw.
Alvarez, no good on the free throw. Good box out from Molson to set up Anderson on the rebound. Halfway through this second half, Lakers with a 17-point lead. Sparks has some options. Brockport now in a 2-3 zone. Anderson back to Sparks. Couple dribbles inside. Looking for Molson, and that one goes off the hands of Jahidi Wallace.
It's interesting here, Brockport in that 2-3 zone. I would not be surprised if the Lakers try and get their three-point shooters going to try and knock out this 2-3 zone.
6 seconds on the shot clock on the inbound. Sparks sets up a 3, too strong. And Beckett on the rebound. Looking for Grady, but that goes out of bounds as well. Inbound from Beckett. Grady into Higgins. Higgins with a tough angle gets it to fall off the glass. A 15-point game now. Lakers lead it, 9:20 to go. Anderson. Fader from the short corner is smooth like butter.
It's just too easy for Aki Anderson, taking control for the Lakers in this second half.
Wallace tries to gather himself in midair. The basket no good, but Sparks tips it out of bounds. Higgins. Cross court to Alvarez, 3, no good. Higgins on the rebound, didn't come down with it, but put it up. And a little too strong. Sparks. Bounce pass to Anderson, driving baseline. Green, back out to Anderson. For 3, no good. And Green on the rebound. A new 20 for the Lakers.
Some great ball movement there by Oswego. They are in control right now on the offensive end.
And they're the first ones crashing the boards on both ends of the floor. Achille inside. You know, before we called him Ice Man, because that's George Gervin, let's call him Ice Boy. Why not? Jamal Achille forcing now another timeout from the Brockport Golden Eagles. Lakers with a 73-54 lead with 8:13 remaining in this second half. And Zach, we said, what more could they do right? And you said kind of getting back to the basics and doing, you know, what they've done all season, play their brand of basketball. They've done just that.
They definitely have, and it hasn't been too easy in this second half. Brockport have given them a little bit of a fight, but the Lakers continue to get inside and also get their shooters rolling. Aki Anderson is lights out right now for Oswego, and they're also doing a great job of getting Jamal Achille really involved. He has 14 points, and a lot of them have come right down low in the paint. He's dominating so far for the Lakers, an unexpected leading scorer for them.
Yeah, Jamal Achille has yet to miss a shot from the field, is 3 for 4 from the free throw line, but is having one of the most efficient games we've seen from him all season. 1 block, 2 steals, 4 rebounds, 14 points. He's 5 for 5 from the field, 1 for 1 behind the arc. And mind you, Jamal Achille, not necessarily a three-point shooter at all. Only he was 1 for 6 coming into this game on the season. Make it 2 for 7. Why not?
It's just a perfect performance. And everything Coach Jason Leone would have asked for from Jamal Achille. The points are going to come in the paint. Get down low, get some open buckets, and Jamal Achille has taken full advantage of it.
Well, now Brockport's going to have to dig deep if they want to dig away at this lead. Pass intended for Wallace, tipped out of bounds. 14 left on the shot clock for Brockport.
Yeah, and Oswego's been really good when it comes to the rebounding category. A lot of offensive rebounds and second chance points for the Lakers.
Finally get the ball in, avoiding the 5-second call. Grady into the lane, no basket. You'll say the foul was on the ground. And even though Grady set up at the free throw line, the officials got it right.
Tried to trick him.
Yeah. You never know. Might get away with it one day. Higgins, the inbounder, over the top to Grady. Has Beckett in the corner. Beckett a three. It's good. Mekhi Beckett brings the lead back down to 16. He's got 12.
And a tough shot there by Beckett, but he had some space, and he will hit it. He's a really good three-point shooter.
Finally got it over half court. The flip to Anderson. Tough finish with Grady on his hip. But Anderson responds. He's got 12. Beckett goes up, and he's fouled on the shot. The official points to the sky and indicates it's on Lou Fadulo. That's his third foul. Not much of a contribution tonight from Fadulo besides getting numbers on the board for fouls.
Yeah, and Fadulo did have a great pass there on a give and go to Aki Anderson, getting him an open lane to the basket for an easy layup.
Right, not all about points. Sometimes it's those short dump passes, the touch passes, you could say, and that time it worked as Beckett's first free throw went, but not the second one. Lakers have used almost all the clock in terms of getting over half court. Green almost looked like he carried there, but no call. Green setting up on the logo, 13 to shoot. Guarded by Beckett. Green clearing out Anderson. Crossover into the paint, dumps it off for Simmons. He goes up, no good. Fadulo on the second effort, blocked by Higgins. That one out of bounds, and it goes off the foot of Lou Fadulo, and Brockport have possession.
Yeah, unlucky there at the rim. Couple opportunities, but just could not get it to go.
Under 7 minutes to play. Grady ripping through on Fadulo, down underneath, and Fadulo a block. They'll say it went off of the hand of Fadulo.
Little bit unlucky there. I thought Fadulo did not get a hand on the ball.
Good cut from Grady, and Christian Simmons got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, next play kind of deal for the Lakers.
His second foul. So he will most likely come out of this game, not for the rest of it, but just for now, as Achille looking to check back in. Grady's first free throw, no good. And, well, that's been one of the stories for Brockport. 14 for 24 now at the free throw line. That's 58%. The Lakers have shot 11 for 12 from the charity. That's about 92%. Second free throw is good there from Grady. Oh, did you see that? I think he blew a little kiss to the crowd.
But free throws, like you said, free throws are really important. It keeps the team in the game, and usually people say free throws are very important at the later stages of the game, but if you cannot hit free throws in the early parts, it's not going to help you later.
Inbounded and over half court go the Lakers. 6.5 to go. They have really a marginal 16-point lead. Feels like it's a closer game than it really is. Green flips it to Crittenden. 8 to shoot. Crittenden Ball fakes out to Achille. His three, no good. And Crittenden on the offensive glass. That's now their 16th offensive rebound as a team. Anderson pull up from the free throw line, and he is absolutely feeling it. He's got 14 and the lead back out to 18. Wallace in transition. No good on the three, and Green on the rebound. Looking up, Crittenden gives it off to Anderson. The up and under, no good. Wallace gets bumped, tipped away, and now Green comes up with another steal. Green hits the deck, but Anderson there to clean it up and slow it down. I mean, just sloppy basketball.
Yeah, just going back and forth. Turnovers, missed layups. It's all going wrong.
Achille and the Ice Boy freezing the defender, Mekhi Beckett, sending him to the floor. He's got 16, Laker lead back out to 20.
Yeah, he's feeling it right now. Getting into the lane, he's finishing with tough contact.
Good pass from Grady to find Beckett as he takes one strong to the hole. A timeout from head coach Greg Dunn with 5 minutes to play in this contest. Lakers lead it 79-61. Brockport's been fighting back though, right? It probably should be a little bit closer. Lakers still with a hefty lead, but probably should be a little bit closer with how hard Brockport has played in these final 10 or so minutes.
Yeah, and you look at this game, it could be close, but Oswego came out flying in that first half. That's the biggest story in this game. This game would be close in the second half if Brockport were better in the first half. They just could not stop Oswego. They put up 49 points, the Lakers did, at just halftime. So 79 points right now with 5 minutes left seems not too bad.
So we talked about free throws before, and free throws are pretty big when it comes to head coach Jason Leone. He loves getting guys who can make their free throws, and they shoot 92% tonight. They're 11 for 12. We mentioned that before. But for the Golden Eagles, they're 15 for 25. If they make just 7 of those, well, we got, an 11-point game instead of an 18-point game. That's very different on either end.
And especially now with the SUNYAC Championships coming soon next week, Brockport needs to pick that up. Those free throws are so important, and especially in the later stages of this game. Like you said, it could be an 11-point game, but it's not worked out for the Golden Eagles tonight.
Achille will inbound. Face guarding full court press for Brockport. Can run the baseline and finally gets it in. Anderson needs to get it over half court. This Lakers team lost on last Friday to New Paltz and then defeated Oneonta for their 15th SUNYAC win this season. Just tonight and tomorrow against Fredonia, their last two on the year. Crittenden tries the three, no good. Here comes Monte Johnson. Johnson spins, throws a ball fake, but a traveling violation as head coach Greg Dunn kind of put his hand on his head saying, what are we doing, guys?
Yeah, Johnson should have just taken it completely to the lane, stopped a little bit, and that forced a little feet happy and forced the travel.
Green crosses the midcourt line. Now Green almost loses it. Backing down Alvarez, finds Achille. 10 to shoot. Anderson crosses over. Good defense from Johnson. Turnaround jumper, no good. And the rebound to Jordan. Back out to Pena. Trying to get by Achille and does. The shot no good. And Johnson on the second effort gets fouled. He'll go to the charity and shoot a pair.
Too much dribbling.
I'm one of the people that believe that loss to New Paltz for Oswego was actually a good thing for the Lakers.
I can agree with you.
You don't want to go into a tournament play, maybe the SUNYACs or even NCAA tournament if you get there. You don't want to go there with all the momentum and thinking we can beat anybody. They're beating teams by 40. like easily, and they've done that most of the season. Now getting a loss on their hand, they kind of learn from it, take it back to the basics, and move on, knowing, okay, any team can beat us if we play a different way and not our style.
Yeah, you're right. And Brockport, one of the better teams in the SUNYAC, although haven't really played well tonight, especially from the free throw line, as those 2 free throws were missed there. Simmons backing down on Pena. Really good defense from Joseph Pena. Jordan pushing the tempo. Alvarez into the paint. Jump stop. And the jumper from 6 feet away goes down the drain. 3:15 to go. Lakers up by 16. Anderson fighting through. Johnson, he gets fouled, but also blocked by Grady. So no and one chance, but Anderson will go to the free throw line. You know, Brockport's done a really good job tonight protecting the rim. Maybe some calls not going their way. A lot of momentum changing calls that the second that Brockport would maybe gain some momentum, get a couple buckets on either end, a call would go the other way and completely put the kibosh on that momentum.
Yeah, basketball is a game of runs, so Oswego are really good at that. Once it gets going, they cannot stop hitting baskets, and they've gone on a couple runs, especially in that first half, that have made this game a little bit out of hand.
And they're running teams out of the gym on a lot of nights, especially not just on the scoreboard, right? On the floor too. They can really use their speed to an advantage. After both the free throws go down, Pena's 3 no good, and Achille on the rebound. Anderson trying to eat at the clock a little bit. Green once again on the right wing. Double teamed now. Simmons inside, gets his own rebound, goes back up, and Johnson gives it up. Crittenden gets blocked, and ball will go out of bounds in favor of the Lakers. Couple substitutions here coming for Oswego. Hunter Cole, Marcus Shelton, and Sean Edwards will replace Devin Green, Julian Crittenden, and Jamal Achille. So now we're seeing the reserves, and I think it's about time.
Yeah, the second half's pretty much flown by, and only 2 minutes left now.
Edwards, his first contribution, no good on the 3, but Simmons, another offensive rebound. Goes back up with it, and somehow gets it to fall. An unbelievable effort in the paint from Christian Simmons.
What a tough layup by Simmons there. Makes a bucket look pretty much easy there.
Kennedy with a smooth stroke stripes down a 3. Simmons gives it up to Anderson. Once again, I think you got to give credit to the crowd here. This has been one of the biggest crowds this season, if not the biggest, and they've played a big factor. Anderson turnaround, Jay, no good. Another offensive rebound and another basket for Christian Simmons. As he and Aki Anderson will head to the bench, Eric Sanfilippo and Luke Van Slyke will check into the ball game. And I think head coach Greg Dunn is going to say sayonara to the starters.
Waving the white flag.
They put up a good effort, though.
They definitely did, especially in that second half. They kept it real close. It was just too big a lead at halftime.
Minute 30 remaining. Lakers lead it by 19. Sheev, cross-court pass to Jordan. Now it's White down low. The three-pointer, no good there from Jerebko. Rebound goes to the Lakers. Sanfilippo guarded by Johnson. Now the hedge from Jordan on defense. Into the paint for Van Slyke. He gets it to go on an and one. Luke Van Slyke flexing the muscles a little bit. Laker lead to 21.
What a spin move there by Luke Van Slyke, getting making a bucket very easy right there. Gets the foul too. Big bucket there.
Really good pass there from Eric Sanfilippo as well. Find Luke Van Slyke in traffic, and then Slyke, like you said, turning and spinning toward the basket. And a takeaway here for the Lakers. Sanfilippo to the corner. Cole, he'll try a three. Back iron, no good, and rebound goes to Milo Shev. Shev will try a three. Way off the mark, and Jerebko started his jump while he was already out of bounds. That's a turnover.
Yeah, one of the best things about this Lakers team, you can talk about depth, you can talk about the ability from three-point range, but on a night like this where a lot of scorers are going, it's the other statistics that matter, and every single one of their players, rebounds, assists, it does not matter. Steals, blocks, just stat padding, really.
Yeah, 2-second difference between game and shot, and Sanfilippo will dribble it out. The Brockport women's team did get the win over the Lakers, just a 1-point victory. In the early game, and now the men's team, who lost last weekend to New Paltz, their first SUNYAC loss and their first loss in over 3 months, will now be winners of 2 straight and defeat Brockport by a final score of 87-66 here on the final weekend of regular season SUNYAC play.
Statement win here today, and they really needed it coming back home after a rough weekend last weekend, and they came out flying. The first half was absolutely dominant for the Lakers, led at halftime 49-29, and it was all Lakers from then on, as Brockport gave a little bit of a fight in that second half, but the lead was just too big at halftime, and that's a huge credit to the Lakers, moving past last weekend and then coming in flying this weekend.
Aki Anderson, a big factor in this game. 16 points, 6 for 14 from the field, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Had 6 boards on the night too, but with his 16 points there, he ties his season high, which was also against the Golden Eagles back in December.
Yeah, and Anderson came in that second half, did not have a lot of points in that first half, had more stats, but then came in that second half and just got in the zone, got in his wheelhouse, got into the lane, some easy pull-up jumpers, and got some easy points there, kept the Lakers lead pretty big.
And for the Golden Eagles, the biggest story of the night, the free throws. They couldn't knock them down. They were 15 for 27 tonight at the charity, and well, that's not going to win you many basketball games.
Yeah, that just shows how important free throws are. It keeps them in the game by hitting free throws. They did not hit their free throws at all, really, at 55%. That's it, versus the Lakers' 86%, as the Lakers were pretty dominant from the free throw line. Brockport needed to really work on that.
Both teams will face Fredonia tomorrow here from Max Seal. 3 o'clock tip-off for the women's game, 5 o'clock tip-off for the men's game, and for this men's team, a 21-point victory. Played really well, only one lead change in this game, and that was, a couple minutes into the game. The only lead for Brockport was 2-0, and that was about it. Lakers' largest lead of the game was 24 at one point, won this one by 21, but I have to ask you, Zach, what did you see tonight from Oswego that really should be changed before tomorrow when they play Fredonia?
Well, they did have a couple turnovers in that second half. They got a little turnover happy early, and Brockport kind of cut the lead, cut it down to almost 15 or 14, but then the Lakers got more in control, got things a little bit settled, went back to the basics, like I've said a lot, and they executed really perfectly.
Well, the Lakers get once again another victory, improved to 22-2, 16-1 in the SUNYAC with this win over the Brockport Golden Eagles. For our producer director Troy Rankowitz and all of us here at WTOP 10, Zach Malamud, I'm Michael Gross saying so long and sail on. We'll see you tomorrow right here on WTOP 10.